Okay, so this is where I am currently. So in reading Fight by Preston Sprinkle, one of the questions you asked, Matt, was in particular, Sprinkle seems concerned that Christians would read the book of Revelation as a license to do violence in God's name, here in the name of God. In a way, I don't really understand why they would use that because, like, it's talking about the end judgment and how Christ comes um, and Sprinkle even talks about like when Christ comes and he'll be drenched in a robe of blood, or he'll be dressed in a robe of blood, or his robe will be dipped in blood. Anyway, and then he'll go and he'll execute his judgment. I don't understand why someone would use that because I would say that's up to God and his judgment. He can judge. Just because God is judging doesn't give us the right to judge other people now, is what I would take from that. And that's how I read it. Um, And then how might a stronger emphasis upon the coming final judgment shape the witness of the church today in matters of peace and violence? Um, Off the top of my head, not quite off the top of my head, I would say if we would focus more on a final judgment, we might be more prone to not attempt to always, in a simple way on a day-to-day basis, always correcting people, always being angry at people for small things or big things. Um, I think we might be more prone to either let it play out. We might be more prone to um, like thinking before we act. Not saying that like we're going to be sitting around saying that since this person did wrong to me, I am going to um, just be a super pious Christian and sit down and God will judge him in the end. I'm just saying that like so maybe if we have that overall mindset too often, maybe we get mad at people or we are impatient and we think we have to do it. We think we have to reconcile or they have to come and ask for forgiveness or they have to do this or something like that. I think just having an overall mindset of that um, might change how people view um, peace and violence. Um, yeah, like I guess, what is peace? Um, is it being like removing all possible threats and living in peace as like a whole entire country, or is it I can have peace even in a difficult situation in a situation that I shouldn't have peace. I think that's God's peace. And then, a lot of times some people or some maybe even Christians would say, or even like how the world gets caught up in war and violence as they're trying to make peace with this violence. So it, it's they're trying to serve justice, serve judgment on people now today, and they think that violence is the best way. So maybe if we put more emphasis as Christians on the final judgment, we'd be less prone to maybe go to violence for the first answer, or we'd look at it, even just looking at it differently, if that's our starting point. And that's all I got.